r/legal advice. Luxon Candles says. Pregnant and in abusive marriage, Texas. Recently got married in Texas because we found out we are pregnant and his family pressured us to do so. I was already having second thoughts during the 72-hour waiting period, but decided to give it a go since all of the family was already in town for the wedding. Turns out I'm in the most toxic relationship I've ever been in. I'm pretty sure he's a narcissist, manipulative person with bipolar disorder as well. I have recorded voice memos of his bipolar and rage episodes. Whenever he explodes, Hez told me he never wants to see me again and tells me to leave, but when I'm about to do so, he physically stops me from leaving. Hez never hit me, but has psychologically abused me, and I'm afraid he will hurt me physically as well someday. I'm currently 12 weeks pregnant and I'm not a US citizen, but he is, and we both have MX nationality. We currently reside in Mexico, but he has residence in Texas, in a home I own. I currently have two options, but unsure about what to do. I can't even look for psychological or legal help without him noticing, because he has my every move controlled and prohibits me from going any place alone. I'm planning to either 1, flee and have my baby elsewhere outside Texas without telling him, and then file for divorce. 2, try and get divorced in Mexico because you can't get a divorce while pregnant in TX. 3, filing for annulment alleging I was forced to get married because of the pregnancy. I really don't know much about US law, so I would like some advice before I decide to leave him or find an attorney, because I wouldn't want him suing me or taking my baby away from me because I left him while being pregnant and still married to him. Lowy Avalon Max says. I apologize if this comes across as practical rather than legal advice, but please, it's very important because you are being psychologically abused. Your judgment is being clouded. This will not change until you get out. You will not have your baby taken away just because you left him and are still married. Number 1, this is so important. Get out. Through whatever methods you can, get out and leave. Make a plan and act as though all is well. Get your documents together, and as much as you can. When you have been away from him for 2 weeks, you will begin to see things clearly. The waters could be muddled somewhat if you continue there and have the baby instead of leaving. Do it now. Get in touch with the DV charity, get friends or family support, and file a police report. Then you go see a good divorce attorney. Disastrous_garlic_36 says. Suing me or taking my baby away from me because I left him while being pregnant and still married to him. I'm not sure what you mean by this. Unless you are in jail or some other horrible circumstance, there is no possibility of him taking your baby. In the US, he is likely to get visitation early on and shared custody as the child gets older. Filing for annulment alleging I was forced to get married because of the pregnancy. Annulment in Texas is only allowed under certain very specific circumstances which do not appear to apply here. Being pressured by family members would not be enough. I'm planning to either 1, flee and have my baby elsewhere outside Texas without telling him, and then file for divorce. 2, try and get divorced in Mexico because you can't get a divorce while pregnant in TX. You can do either of these things. Pearl 2017 says. I'm not a lawyer, but I live in Texas. Get your baby as far away from him as possible. The longer you stay, the harder it will be to leave. One thing about Texas is that possession laws also apply to child custody. Until there is an order saying otherwise, he can take your baby, hide from you. You can't stop him. But the good news is you can too. So run like hell now, before baby is even born. Get your new life started before you give birth. It'll make everything so much easier. Kerwitz0 says. While your husband isn't with you, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799-7233. They will connect you with legal resources and local resources to help you leave. You can also go to their website to chat with a representative. You can also text the word START to 88788 to talk with someone there. It doesn't matter that you aren't a US citizen, they will still help. r/legal advice. Time to get shitty says. Is it illegal to take down signs that a protester put up? I live in the USA. Minnesota, specifically, Brooklyn Park more specifically. There's a Planned Parenthood here that sees anti-choice protesters every third weekend of the month. Today, they don't seem to be present, but their garbage ass signs are. Is it illegal for me to take them down / destroy them / deface them? If so, what else could I do? I tried looking up local information, but all I got was information on what to do if the police violate your protesters' rights. Nementh9999 says. Are the signs on public or private property? Not this again 21 says. If they're allowed to put them up, why would you not be allowed to take them down? r/legal advice. Alabamundi334 says. Partner hit by roommate, is there any course of action? Hello, all of this is taking place in Fairfax, Virginia. I have a romantic partner who lives in a separate apartment from me, with a roommate. The roommate, as of late, has been having sporadic episodes of anger and paranoia. My partner is in the process of moving out. They already have movers coming tomorrow, and a down payment for a new place with a new roommate. Earlier today, around 3 o'clock their roommate hit them. She apparently was provoked by them not paying rent, which is untrue, they pay rent every month. She also was throwing things, and threatened to burn the apartment down. They called the leasing office, but they don't seem to be taking action. There is bruising as well as scratches from her fingernails, as well as light bleeding. They called the police, but they didn't help much. The roommate insisted that she didn't hit them, and the police told them to lock your room. If you feel unsafe, they came over to my place instead. I'm wondering what, if any, recourse we can have. They're moving out tomorrow to another apartment as I mentioned, but I wonder if there is anything we can do legally, any sort of claim we can make. Thank you so much in advance. Clackamas Lives Matter says. There is bruising as well as scratches from her fingernails, as well as light bleeding. You can file a police report in person. You can go to the doctor and get the injuries treated and sue for the cost of medical bills in small claims court. Axwith says. If the police are unwilling to do anything, that's it on the criminal front. If she has medical injuries, she can sue her roommate for damages. r/legal advice. Charming_cancel 30-27 says. Maintenance left my apartment unlocked, a laptop was stolen. The property manager just gave me a story about how there is a protocol to prevent such an occurrence from taking place, then blew me off. I filed a police report. It makes no sense to make a renter's insurance claim for $922 when the deductible is $500 and the claim will follow me for 7 years. Is there anything I can do? D for Clusterfrick says. Unfortunately, this kind of thing is exactly what your renter's insurance is for. You can let them know the situation, and if they think the PM was negligent, they'll subrogate the loss to award them. Derpfish says. Depending on your location, you can try small claims court. Whether it's worth the filing fees time to do so depends on your jurisdiction and personal feelings on the matter. r/legal advice. Jedin BB says. Are women minimum age to own a vehicle? My in-laws are currently fighting with their son, my wife's brother, 20, over whether or not he can buy a car without their help. They're trying to stop him from doing something stupid like getting a high-interest loan on an unreliable used luxury car. Mill seems earnestly convinced that in the state of Iowa you must be 21 years old to buy a car, and I think she has convinced Phil of the same, or he's playing along very convincingly. I've done the basic internet research and have found nothing suggesting that the legal age To purchase a vehicle and register it as anything other than 18 years old in the state of Iowa, with some conflicting information suggesting 16 and 17-year-olds may be able to own vehicles in their own name in some circumstances. Aside from things like getting a loan and insurance, and putting aside the morality of possibly lying to a young adult to stop them from making mistakes like making a dumb car buying decision, is there any reason a 20-year-old in Iowa would not be able to buy a car, assuming they have the cash on hand and don't need financing? So_fetch 567 says 20-year-olds can buy cars. Period. Jbekin says, Arnold, do you really want to get in the middle of this? BTW, a 20-year-old should be able to figure this out on their own. Scenario 1, car is perfect and everything comes up roses for the 20-year-old. You have alienated your in-laws and may affect your wife's relationship with her parents. Scenario 2, car is awful. Your in-laws will be able to say I told you so, and the 20-year may blame you for helping him buy the car. It's now time for an unpaid shoutout. Check out Entropic Decay Gaming on YouTube for retro long plays and GoldenEye 64 custom maps. Lance Cassidy's love for classic gaming will transport you back to a time when games were simpler, but no less exciting. Subscribe now using the link in the description.